welcome to Inside the Mind of, a podcast where I dive deeper into the minds of some of my favorite people and people who inspire me in the wrestling community. Joined with me today, the creator of Creatia World, the co-host of Return to Wrestling, Smackin' a Raw, Dungeons After Dark, Super Flash Arrow of Tomorrow, Lord Cussalot, aka the Dragonkin, aka Big T, aka Sweet T, aka T Money, aka Black Merlin, aka the Dungeon Master, aka the HNIC, Travis Pointer. How are you?
I am great. And I'm so glad that you introduced me properly because, as some would know, if you don't, I just won't talk.
Exactly. That is why I I have seen countless episodes where you do not talk if you are not introduced properly. So I literally had to message Matt, be like, "What are the nicknames you say? Because you say them too fast. I never know." So I needed to get a correct rundown here. Gotta introduce you properly, Travis.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much.
It is no problem. So like, how are you? It's we haven't talked in a minute. It's been a while.
We have not. It is good to see you. I'm doing just fine.
Good.
I'm busy as all hell, tired all the time, but it's the life. You know.
It,
And,
also, I just realized your shirt.
oh yeah, yeah, great, right?
That's incredible. I was like, I kept glancing at it, and then I finally just like actually read it.
hmm That's
That's
usually how it works. People look at them like, "Huh," and then they really like, "Oh, that's funny." Yeah.
that's clever. I like that. So, how this is gonna work? First, have you watched or seen any of these? It's okay if you haven't.
I watched one a while back.
Okay,
I can't tell you how much I remember
that's okay.
because you were on with somebody who really loves the sound of his own voice. So, you know, it may have been different than it normally goes. So I'm not sure.
So basically, I just have the same rundown of questions I ask everyone. We'll talk it through. Some are about wrestling because you have like you started Smackin' Raw, which was and is a wrestling podcast, and then just some questions about you.
Okay, let's do it.
So, Creatia World hit what was it? 4 years. 4 years. So, how did you start 4 years
Five.
ago? 5 years.
Yeah.
So 5 years ago, what was the plan here? How did you kind of start? How did you create Creatia World?
Well, it really all started with me. I used to watch a lot of stuff with IGN and all that kind of stuff just because I just enjoyed the whole podcasting thing after I heard pretty much my first one by accident. It was actually just it was a PlayStation podcast they do called Podcast Beyond, and I would listen to that every week or watch it on YouTube either way on a pretty regular basis. But the two people who hosted that left IGN and started their own thing. It was called Kind of Funny. They do all kind of different stuff, but the way they did their content was just inspiring to me. Like I want to do that. Like what they're doing there is what I want to build. They have a lot going on over there, and it really started with just four people, and it was pretty fucking cool the way they put it all together. That was my inspiration. Try to hit all the things that I love as far as all that nerdish. Like that's just what we do. It's part of our logo. So we like we talk video games, TV, movies, all that kind of stuff. But um, the two people I started with were also people who, like me, had tried been working to get into the film industry as well. So it was me, John Gruzzi, and Samara Watkins. We got together. I told them like, look, this is what I want to do. I'll start this here. We'll do this one show. I hadn't had a name for it yet, but it was the show we do monthly, which we haven't done in a while just because of time constraints. Called Creation Conversation, and that's the one where we talk, more about all that nerdish. We have those conversations just about weird random things. Like we just all present a question, and it could be just as random as us doing like I don't know. We like picked three characters and play fuck Mary Kill, and it's just random shit like that, or like it could be as serious as what's the last movie that made you cry, you know,
Okay.
things like that. It can be anything, um, film, TV related, all that kind of stuff, video games too. Um, but the expansion into wrestling didn't happen until later, just because I was like, I don't see how I'm gonna make the time for this. And I had the idea for it. I definitely wanted to. Um, and a certain someone who shall not be named was bothering me about it for a while. But I refuse to say his name right now. And I told him that when I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to say your name.
He
I'm not
told me
mentioning
that too.
it." Yeah, yeah. But yeah, he was bothering him like, and I'm like, I know I want to do it, but I'm not going to say, "Hey, let's do it now," and then not be able to, because it's just like I didn't want to commit to that
Yeah.
and then not follow through. And when someone is a really good friend of yours, you don't want to let them down either. So it's just we got to the point where we're just like, okay, we can do this. They had another co-host. They're like, okay, cool. The deal was, first of all, it needed to be called Smacking It Raw because I just thought that was funny as hell, and that was just what was gonna happen. And two, like I don't have to be on every week
Hmm.
because I knew I wouldn't have the time. So it was just like I need to be able to like step away if need be.
Yeah.
We had another co-host. All was good. Then that other co-host quit, and I was like, "Oh well, fuck you too." And now it's just like, I got to do this every week now. And don't get me wrong, I loved it. We had a great time every week. It's just like it got to the point after those years of doing it where I'm just like, I am exhausted,
Hmm.
and like I just don't have the time for everything anymore. And there's other things I want to do. I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but yeah,
No,
that's
go
how
for
it
it.
all. That's the story. That's pretty much how it all happened. Dungeons After Dark happened with me. The whole pandemic happened, and I was bored just scrolling through the internet one day, saw this cool ass table that was made specifically for like tabletop games and board games and all that kind of
Hmm.
stuff. And I tumbled down the rabbit hole of board games and tabletop games and all that kind of stuff. And then just finally actually just looked into what Dungeons and Dragons was and became obsessed.
There you go.
And yeah, yeah. So Dungeons of the Dark only happened because of the pandemic.
And there's two episodes or one episode out?
Technically two. One that's well, see the first one is really just us learning how to play Dungeons and Dragons,
Okay.
and it's just like it's not really. It's kind of some of us being us, but the second one is when like it's really just us, where like I'm the dungeon master, Mara, John, and Matt are in there. They're playing, and it's really us really being Creatia World playing Dungeons and Dragons. It's
Gotcha.
just like because the way that we would do it with other people versus the way we do it when it's just us is going to be very different. And I love that. When I first presented it to them, I didn't even tell them what I wanted to do with it. I just told them I wanted to do this, but I knew what they would say because I know my friends. So
Exactly.
it's just like we were talking. We did the whole thing. We learned and all that kind of stuff. And afterwards, I asked them, "What did you think?" Knowing what they're going to say because
Yeah.
I know them. But they're like, yeah, it was cool. It'd probably be better with it being just us. I'm like, because I had it in my head where like if they wanted to do it the same way, there was somebody I could call it a dungeon master for us, and it'll be the four of us playing with them as a dungeon master.
Okay.
But I'm like, they're not gonna want to do that. But I have that ready. But then they're like, yeah, it'd be better though if it's just us. Like you be the dungeon master and we'll play. And I'm like, you got it. And I mean, the rest, as far as that goes, is history. I mean, we need to do another one because it's our most popular video we've done in a long time.
Wow.
And it's, we just haven't had the time. It's just getting everybody together for that is the most difficult part because getting all four of us at a time where we're all four available is very difficult.
Oh, just trust me. I understand. Trying to do a podcast with more than one other person is borderline impossible 9 times out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that completely. So you've done all of these shows that you have named over the past 5 years. Do you have any favorite episodes from any of the shows you have done?
Oh, weird thing about that question
Okay.
is the episodes I had the most fun on, I don't remember them because I was drunk as fuck. And the thing is, like, I know that I like get into a zone when I'm drunk like that where I don't know what I'm saying. And in my head, it makes sense. And if you really like tilt your head a little bit, you're like, oh, that kind of does make sense. But it's really just like on Smacking and Raw, I enjoy just when I'm on it causing chaos because it's the only show that I'm ever on where I don't have to host.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like when I'm hosting, I have to drive the ship. I have to be making sure I'm, still pretty cognizant of what's going
Yep.
on. But when I'm not the host, I can do whatever the fuck I want. So it's even different too, where it's just like when somebody else is not the host on my show, and I'm hosting, they can act up a little bit, but at the same time, I'm still in control of the post production. So it's
Yep.
just like I can just not make the show not happen. So it's just like you can't do
It's true.
that. But when I'm producing, who's gonna stop me? So it's just like I just do whatever I want there. So it's just like those are the ones where I have the most fun on. But honestly, my favorite thing that we've ever done, to be completely honest with you, is Dungeons After Dark. Like it's just I had so much fun doing that. And seeing them, being very new to Dungeons and Dragons as well as me, but they're more new than I am. Like starting to pick things up and figuring things out is also fun to do, which is why I do it pretty often. Anyway, I have a regular game I do every Sunday actually
Uh-huh.
for some people. I started this group called How We Roll. It's basically about getting more black people into Dungeons and Dragons because one thing is with us growing up, especially me too, is just like growing up we're just taught like we don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like that's not what we do. And I'm just like, there's so many people out there who I know would enjoy this, who would love this. I'm just my goal is to introduce as many people like me, to that as possible. So with me doing that, I got that game going every Sunday. I got five other people that are playing it in my campaign that I'm running. Like five people, new people that I got into Dungeons and Dragons, which is great. There's a whole group of them, and I'm like, I got other dungeon masters and stuff in there too. That I'm like, yo, run games with these people. They all want to play, and it's hard getting other people to do it. But it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, this could be so great. But it's like I can't run them all myself.
It's true.
I only have so much bandwidth, and it's just I would love to, but at the same time, I still got to work every day. I still, got my own stuff I got to work on and all that. And I still like, getting quality time with the significant other and all that kind of stuff, because can't neglect that either.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, there's only so much time I have. And like, I would love to run like, a game from that group every night of the week. I would love to. I just don't have the time.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can really get the other dungeon masters to start running games in there, like, and really keep growing that community, I think it can be something really, really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a long answer to your question. My favorite thing that I've done is that episode of Dungeons After Dark.
You know what? I like long answers because then I don't have to talk as much. So you make my job easy, Travis.
Yeah, I gotta save my voice though. Like I said, I gotta run a game tonight, so.
So you talked about the drunk episodes, or episodes you don't remember because you get too drunk. Now, I recall being on Smacking It Raw. I can't remember what episode. We were just, going through the show, and then you and Mara show up hammered, which was so funny. I bet it was a pain in the ass for you after the fact to do.
Oh, I regretted it, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I believe it. But, like, that kind of leads me into unexpected moments that have happened when you're recording. So, you popping in on other shows when you're drunk, like, what are some unexpected moments that made you be like, what the hell is this? Crack up after the fact, like...
Well, yeah, that one when I just popped in on y'all on that episode. That was funny because the thing is, normally we record Super Flashy the night before Smacking It Raw gets recorded.
Okay.
But there was some conflict as far as scheduling goes, so we had to record the next night. So the thing is, we finished Super Flashy while you all were in the midst of doing Smacking It Raw, and I was like, Mara, yo, let's just jump into Smacking It Raw. They're recording right now, and she's like, let's do it. Mara's always down for the shenanigans. That's why I love her. But it's just like yeah, we'll do this. Like I remember doing it. I don't remember what I said, but it was it was a good time. The thing is, I really like the level of drunk I used to get on Smacking and Raw. I don't do anymore. Like I don't drink like that anymore. I still drink. Don't get me wrong. I drink, but like I used to go through like in almost entire bottles of tequila during an episode. Like
Oh
it was,
shit,
yeah,
Travis.
it was. Oh, they were great times. Like so, like it's just because it would be like normal size fifth, of tequila, and I'd like wake up the next morning, I'd see like there's only like this much left. I'm just like, well, because what I started doing, which I probably should not have, those little things, Mio
Yeah.
water flavor thing. So what I started doing was just I take a glass, ice, pour tequila in there, Mio, to flavor it. It goes down so smooth. And the thing is, it's just like you just keep reporting because like you just keep drinking because it's like you're drinking water. Well, not water, but like you just having a beverage with you while you're talking to somebody to keep yourself hydrated and keep
Yeah.
your throat loose and all that kind of stuff. And before you know it, I just keep pouring more, and you're just like, oh, oops.
Mio and tequila. I'll have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, works with tequila, works with vodka, pretty much works with any clear alcohol.
Good to know.
Hmm. Again, I don't do that anymore, but
I mean, that's okay.
yeah.
You learned your lesson, I think.
Well, it was kind of a forced lesson. I had a health scare. Could
Oh,
like,
Jesus.
yeah. I spent 3 days in the hospital. It wasn't from drinking. It was other stuff, but it was just like the drinking would not help. So it was just a lot of decisions I had to make, and lifestyle changes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, makes sense.
Yeah. Was that a
So,
sneeze?
huh?
Was that a sneeze?
No, that was a cough.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
you don't
was,
get a bless you for coughing.
yeah, I don't need to bless you for coughing. Thank you. So,
That's a weird thing for me too. The whole God bless you when people sneeze kind of thing, or just bless you when people sneeze. I'm like, why you get a blessing just because you got dust in your nose? Like, which is why like I stopped saying. I used to just say Gesundheit or something like that because it's just like that literally means like good health to you kind of thing. Like in case you actually sick, and like good health to you, all that kind of stuff. But I'm like, you don't get a blessing just because you got dust in your nose because you got allergies. Like, no. Like I'm not bothering Jesus for that. Like,
I've never heard it like thought about like that, and I love your response. So, again, that was a cough. Gotta emphasize it now that I'm coughing.
I realized it that time.
Okay. So you said you have done all of these shows and all of these things, and how you don't really have time to be continuing to do the other, be a dungeon master for all these other groups you want to do. So, in the very little free time you have, Travis, what else do you like to do? What are some of your other hobbies?
Um, Still, when I have time, I'll play some video games. My Switch is still right here. Um, I'll I read sometimes. Just if I need to just kind of some quiet time and just sit back with a book, watch a lot of TV. It's one of those things that just gives me a chance to just kind of zone out for a bit. Anything that just helps me calm myself because I'm always going. I'm always thinking about something that I have to do. Anything that can just take me out of that is what I'll do when I have a chance to just sit down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so video games, a book, good TV show, anything that will distract me from the millions of things that I have to get done.
Completely understand. Do you have a favorite video game right now?
Um, I keep finding myself going back to Mario Kart all the time. Like I love a lot of things. My favorite game of all time, period, is God of War.
Okay.
Um, like it to me, like God of War from a few years back on when it came out on PS4 is, in my opinion, the best video game ever made. Um, but
Good game.
but it's not something that has a lot of replay value on it for me.
Yeah.
Mario Kart I can play over and over and over again. Like I feel like I'm unbeatable. Like what are you really gonna do? Like unless some like crazy shit happens that is completely out of my control, you know, like I'm going to win. It's just, at least Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch, I'm going to win.
Good to know. So I know never to play Mario Kart with you because then I'll lose.
Oh, by all means, play Mario Kart.
No, I don't want to lose. Because I always
nobody
win.
likes to lose. Yeah, well, beat me.
I'll try. Shit.
Yeah,
well, I don't have a Switch. That might be a little difficult.
Take somebody else's. Somebody around you has a Switch.
That's true. My friend
There
does.
are millions and millions of Switches out there. Somebody around you has one. Just take theirs, and hopefully it has Mario Kart on it. If not, you'd be like, yo, why the fuck don't you have Mario Kart on this?
It's just a staple. You need to have it.
Yeah, correct your behavior. Do better. And give me the Switch.
Give me the Switch.
Yeah. You can give it back. You know, I'm not saying like completely like take their property. That's theft. That's illegal. You know. It's like I don't want you to go to jail over this. But,
yeah, I don't want to go to jail at all. So, well, you brought up God of War. Are you excited for God of War Ragnarok?
Oh, I am so very excited. Like the way God of War ended when they showed us Thor at the end. I'm like, oh, you going there now? Okay.
Yeah.
I was expecting that on like the third one, you know, but okay, cool. I'll take Thor now.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to play. It looks cool as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Because that comes out this year or next year?
They're still saying this year.
Hopefully.
We haven't seen much else from it, but Summer Games Fest is happening this summer, so there'll probably be something around that time when they do a full state of play for it. And
yeah. That'll be exciting. I'm ready.
We'll see some. Oh, I'm so ready.
So this is a question I asked everyone, like all of these. So if you could have a dinner, right? Just you and 3 wrestlers, or in your case, if you don't want to do wrestlers, you can do characters from another TV show.
I'll do wrestlers for you.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Dead or alive, who are you picking and why?
The Rock.
Okay.
Kevin Nash.
Okay.
And I was gonna say Warrior, but I'm like nobody would get to talk if I bring him. Like, and it'll be all the craziest nonsense you've ever heard in your life. And don't get me wrong, I love Warrior. Like he's one of my favorites ever. But Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks. I mean, I was gonna be shocked if she wasn't on this list, Travis. How many panda gifts have you sent that woman?
Oh, I have no idea. Please. How many episodes of Smack and Raw have I done? Like, it's just like,
did you start doing that at the beginning, or did you like?
It wasn't right at the beginning. It was a little while in. I don't remember when it started, but it was a long time.
It was very entertaining.
The funny thing was like just finding new ways to search for gifts just there, because it's just like I can't just put in Panda now because it'll give you the same ones I've already sent. So I gotta like think of different things to search for, like dancing panda, or like swimming panda, or pandas playing, and it's just like I gotta find something different all the time. And,
That was always such an interesting part to watch, is you just searching for like 2 minutes trying to find the perfect gift to send her, and then he who must not be named, I won't name drop him for you, just playing a random song that he feels was necessary at the time.
Yeah, that came along later. Before it was just a little bit of a wait. He didn't have music yet, but then he started doing that after a while.
Kills time.
It was just one of those things where we just kept doing it because, like, well, I've been doing it this long. I can't stop now because one day she might actually open this and be like, "Yo, what the fuck?" See all
of the fucking panda gives.
Yeah, and it's all pandas. So at that point, she's just all like, why are they all pandas? So now she's got like her curiosity is gonna like get
Yeah.
the better of her, and she's gonna be like, "What the fuck is this?" And I'm like, "Got it." And then we got Sasha Banks on Smacking and Raw, and it's all thanks to me and my panda gifts.
I mean, you know you'd have to be on that episode, right?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I'd show up for that
You can kick me and Vince off. You can go back to your duties for the night.
one. Thank you, thank you.
Hey, I
I had
mean,
planned on doing that anyway, but thanks for giving me the consent.
well, I mean, you're basically allowing me to be a co-host on there, so because you get last say.
This is true. This is true. I mostly just let him do what he wants though, because he rarely does things that are going to be detrimental to the channel. So it's just like, hey, you're fine, get it done.
True.
He's trustworthy, unlike some other people I work with when it comes to making sure stuff gets done. It's cool.
I understand that completely. I've
Yes.
been there.
Yeah, I'm not even really just talking about Creatia World. I'm talking about all the stuff I do.
Oh no, I get you 100%. So, do you have any advice for anyone watching or listening about podcasting, life in general, whatever advice you want to give? Now is your time.
Um, well, I'd say as far as what we do here, podcasting, content creation, anything like that, just do it. Um, like make that thing. Just go ahead and make the thing and put it out there. Is it going to be bad? Probably. But guess what? Doesn't matter. Nobody's going to see it anyway. That first one, nobody really sees. Like, I'm not even trying to like be funny or anything. Like,
No,
with
it's
that
true.
first one, nobody's really going to see it anyway. But you've done it. You've gotten the practice in, and you made. The only way to get good at this kind of stuff is to do it. Like there is no. You can read all the books in the world. You can study and everything. Kind of just watch others and write stuff down all the time. But you're really not going to be able to be good at this kind of thing until you just do it. Like you got to figure out how to time things and how to make sure everything stays on track, because people like me will try to throw you off track at every step of the way because it's just funny to me. Watching you struggle. But yeah, like it really is just make the thing. Like it's most likely going to be bad, but it's okay. It's okay. It's supposed to be. Then in 2 or 3 years when you're like killing it, you can look back at that first one and laugh at it. And then you can re-release it as your first thing that nobody saw. And it's a big thing, Like
Yeah.
do that shit. Just do that shit, basically.
Yeah, I agree. That's every time I ask this, that is 9 times out of 10 what people say is the exact words of just do it.
Yeah.
So,
You're gonna yeah, I know. It's nerve wracking. You're scared about it. So was I. Things are gonna go wrong. They definitely did. First podcast I recorded with Mara, she went to labor the next day.
what?
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I always know exactly how long we've been doing this, because of how old Luna is.
Holy
We
shit.
recorded the first episode of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. She went into labor the next day.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I couldn't even imagine. Holy shit.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was also sick at the time. Like I was drinking Dayquil between stuff and all that kind of stuff. It was just like, and we knew she was due like really soon. Like she was gonna be going in labor soon. Like we gotta go ahead and get this done. So, yeah, first episode of Smacking It Raw. I mean not Smacking It Raw, Super Flashy. And the next day, baby.
That's a story. Like that's wow. I'm at a loss for words. That's actually crazy. I couldn't imagine being ready to pop and being like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. No, okay, knowing me, that's how I would be. Never mind. I can't even be like, oh my god, I can't imagine. That's some shit I would fucking do. So
Yeah.
props to her, because
Oh yeah.
more power to her. Alright, Travis, you're writing an autobiography. You gotta give me a title and why you're choosing that title. So it can be any part of your life, your entire life, your whatever you want to do it.
Oh, okay. That's easy. Titles do better.
Do better? Okay.
Hmm. It's one of those things I say it all the time, like to other people and to myself. Like it's just there's times when I'm just like I'm looking at what I have in front of me and just like not even just like stuff I'm working on like digitally and all of my content and all that, just like in life in general, like this is nah, Travis, look inward, do better. Cause you can do better than this. You know you can do better than this. Now, why aren't you doing better than this and all that kind of stuff is things you need to figure out, but you got to start with the decision that you're going to do better. And that's just kind of how I am. And I tell people that all the time when things happen, whether I'm joking or whatever, but like, there's times when people will say something that like just makes no sense to me, and instead of looking at them saying you're stupid, I'd be like, do better.
Yeah. It's a good title. I like that. Do you have a cover art in mind? That's something else people decide to do on this. They think of a cover of the book they want.
What I want or what I can do, because what I want is me just butt naked on the cover, but like they can't put that in Barnes and Noble.
No, they
So
cannot.
like even if it's pixelated and whatnot, like they probably still couldn't put that on the shelf and display it in Barnes and Noble. So I don't know. I have to think about that a little bit more. It would be probably there'd be a lot of blue involved because I like the color blue.
Okay.
Um, some kind of weird like artistic interpretation of like a painting of my face or something like that. Like not just straight up my face, but like one of those those weird like not
Yeah.
the weird modern art stuff that comes out and all that. Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like that, but with a lot of blues involved and all
Okay. I can picture it. I see it in my head. I like it. Yeah, you butt naked. Will not work. I'm so sorry.
that. I know. It's disappointing. Like I like being naked. Like it's so just I don't know. It feels right.
It's being free.
Yeah, yeah. I had a dream once about me just walking through Target butt ass naked like wasn't nothing wrong, and people looking at me crazy. Like I actually saw somebody from a former job that just saw me and was like, and didn't want to look at me and talk to me, and I was just trying to have a regular conversation with her and shit. It was really funny. Like it was like, yeah, I just walked into Target. I don't know why I was Target. I haven't been to a Target in years, but like I just walked into Target.
I love it. I love the inner workings of your mind, Travis.
So do I.
There's a
And
lot
the
going on.
thing, it is, and the thing is, I don't say half of it because it would make no sense to anybody else, and I know it would. And it's just like it would just sound completely discombobulated and stupid, but it all makes sense to me. So it's just you know
Hey.
most of it does. Because there's some stuff that doesn't even make sense to me, and I haven't figured it out yet.
All in due time. Maybe it's like some secret code you end up
Maybe.
deciphering after the fact, and who knows? Who knows what will happen? Your life
Yeah,
just becomes a movie, Travis.
perhaps. Or maybe it's one of those things that I'm just not meant to figure out because it could be detrimental to the world.
That too. Damn, I didn't even think about that one. You're right.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what's happening in the future with everything you do? What are your future plans for the next, we'll say, like month?
First priority for me, as far as what we're doing here with Creatia World, is finding a way to get Dungeons After Dark going on at least a monthly basis.
Okay.
Because, like I said, that's been our best, most viewed video in a very long time. That one, and it's still getting views on it. It's just like this is fun. Okay, okay. Um, but on top of that, there's just other things I'm working on. We're gonna be revamping some stuff for Creation World.
Okay.
Just the way we putting content out and all that kind of stuff. I had it in my head. Oh, like the our merch store. Like I know I've been saying this for a while, but I'm working on it. Like I want to work with an actual person, not just an entity.
Mm-hmm.
And like there've been a couple of people I've reached out to. We've started working on stuff and just couldn't really work out how we wanted to go. So like I'm not gonna give them all the rights to all our shit and all that kind of stuff. Like no, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like well, if you're only gonna pay this, we're like okay, we got to meet somewhere in the middle. And they don't want to meet in the middle. And I'm like okay, I'll go somewhere else. Like I know plenty of people. I can keep asking. You know. Um, but yeah, growth. Right now, there's technically 6 of us. Um, I see you counting in your head. Are you missing somebody right now?
I I think I got everyone.
Okay. There's me. There's John. There's Mara. There's Vince. And there's Kobe. You've probably never. I know. No, you haven't met Kobe because Kobe only comes on Creatia Conversation with me
Okay.
when it's video game time, and he does the streaming on Twitch. He hasn't done it in a while. He hasn't
Okay.
been feeling well. But yeah, he basically does everything on Twitch.
Okay.
But yeah.
And then he must not be named.
Who?
Oh, okay. You know who
But yeah,
I'm talking about.
I have no idea. But yeah, growth. I mean, I want to get to the point where like we have more stuff going where I don't have to be involved in everything. Like the way Smacking and Raw runs right now, where I don't have to be there, but I can if I want. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I want to get other things going where I can have that as the case. But a lot of times, like in order to get things going, I have to be there to make sure it's running the way it needs to be run. Because it might not seem like we have a formula because it seems very chaotic, but we do. As far as how like podcasts and stuff go, there is a formula.
Okay.
And we have rules that we frequently bend, but we do have rules. So I just, it's getting all that, and man, I have plans for things like no other partners to work with and stuff like that, just to help us grow as far as just our numbers are concerned. But it's
Mm-hmm.
just it's hard to get all that worked out. So, but working on it.
Hey, and that's all. That's all that matters is that you're working on it. It's not something where it's like, I see it. I'll handle it. It may be like no, you're like actively trying to figure all of this out.
Sometimes banging my head up against the wall, and then I make the mistake of picking up new hobbies because now I'm like starting to think about, what if I really got into cosplay?
It's an
And
expensive hobby.
oh, I know, but all my hobbies are expensive. Like it's just video games are an expensive habit. Dungeons and Dragons is an expensive habit. Like it's just all these things are expensive, which is why I still have a job because I need to be able to afford nice things.
Mm-hmm.
Because well, things that are nice to me, everybody might not consider these things nice things. So I would be honest. Like there are a lot of people who might not care about the newest D&D book that comes out at the end of the month. But I do. So
That's all that matters.
here's my
Is that you
$30.
do.
Give me my book. The whole shelf full of them back here. You see, like right here, there's like 5 of them.
But it's something that you enjoy, so it's all that matters.
Right.
It's not
Right.
harming
Like,
you. It's not harming anyone else. So
yeah. I was just at a small like anime con yesterday, and I was just like, what if I really like just got into this? And so I went to Hobby Lobby
oh, show and tell.
and got some Evo foam,
Okay.
because I'm just like, I'll give it a shot. So I'm about to. The first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to make Barrett from Final Fantasy VII, make his arm cannon thing. So, and see if I can pull off Barrett. I think I can.
I think you could.
Yeah.
I have faith in you, Travis.
Well, thank you. I'll give it my all.
Alright, so I've been asking you a shit ton of questions, and you've talked a lot. Do you have any questions for me? Anything you want to know, podcast, personal, whatever, I'll answer anything.
Okay. Well, you pop in and fill in on Smacking and Raw, on a pretty regular basis, which means you have to talk to Matt weekly.
I do.
Damn it. Whatever. It's over now. I'm insulting him now, so that works. It's okay.
Okay.
I've known him since I was 10 years old. I'm stuck with him at this point. But you make a conscious choice every week to talk to him.
I do.
It blows my mind why people would do that.
He's entertaining.
Is he though?
He is.
Is he?
He is. And I think one of the reasons he has me on is because I laugh at everything. So anytime he makes a joke, I laugh.
Oh, I understand why he brings you on. I'm trying to understand why you would choose to say yes every week.
Because it's different from my show. Like, the shows I do, it's completely different. And that it also, like, how I'm able to do these. Like, when I'm on a show, he usually has me as, like, the buffer between him and someone else. So, I get to meet new people or people I haven't talked to a lot, also while being on that show. And then that helps grow everyone. Mm-hmm. And then usually it's just me, him, and Vince. Or just me and him. So.
Cool. You want me to fire Vince?
You don't have to fire Vince.
I know I don't have to. I'm asking if you want me to.
No. No, because we have this competition going right now, and I need to win the right way.
I'm about to say, if he gets fired, you automatically win because he's not there.
Yeah, but I gotta win it the right way, Travis. Because I'm gonna win.
You must.
I have to.
Been looking for an excuse to fire him for a while, and you just took that away from him.
Why? Just cause?
Yeah, basically.
It was joked before Matt said, put me on the Creatia World page. I was like, no, don't put me on. I'm a co-host, but not a co-host. Please don't put me on.
He was just, that was the thing because Vince was like adamant about it. Like, well, not adamant, but like asking pretty often about being added to the website because you know, he was officially part of Smacking It Raw, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll get to it. There was nothing against him. It took me a while to get to it. I had to add him and Kobe at the same time, so it was just like, I'll get to it. Don't worry, I'll reflect.
Yeah.
But I say it so much now, I don't think he believes that I'll actually do it. So.
But you did it, and that's all that matters.
No, I mean, I talk about firing him all the time.
Oh yeah, don't fire him. He's a good kid. Don't do it.
He's alright. What else? Do I have anything else I need to ask you?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, what brought you to podcasting? You know, what was your inspiration to step behind the microphone?
So as weird as it may sound, I have bad stage fright. I know. Doesn't seem like it now. But so that was also part of it, and like I don't do public speaking. Like I had to take it in college, and I was just like shaking reading papers. I hated it. So what?
Before you go on, let me ask: what is it about public speaking that gets to you? It's fascinating to me when people like who are really bothered by this. I really want to know.
I think it's just talking in front of other people like makes me kind of nervous. And then, like, it's all eyes on me. And I'm like, if I fuck up, everyone will see it. Kind of thing.
I guess for me, it's just one of those when I'm, depending on where I'm at, I guess. But a lot of times when I'm doing it, it's in front of a lot of people I just don't know. So it's just like, it actually works for me. Because it's just like, I don't know you, I'll never see you again. If I completely fuck up, what you gonna do? Who you gonna tell? It's just, like, I don't care. Like, I think that's also part of the reason why I had that dream about walking naked into Target. Like, 'cause I don't know these people anyway. Like, what? I don't care. So it's just, that's why, you know, it has never really bothered me. It bothered me more when I had to do it like in class in front of classmates that I knew and all that kind of stuff. That was harder.
Yeah.
But when I had to speak in front of people I didn't know, that was always such a breeze to me. Because in my head, it's just the way I rationalize it, which is the weird way my mind works. It's just like, I don't know you anyway.
Makes sense.
It makes no difference if I completely mess this up because you have no bearing on my life whatsoever after I walk out these doors. So it's fine. Part of the reason why I'll just say whatever the fuck I want on a podcast. I don't know the people listening to it anyway. So
so it was a little bit of that, and then, the pandemic hit, and I was just like, fuck, I don't know what to do. And I was listening to a lot of podcasts. I listened to, like, Lillian Garcia's a lot, and seeing her talk with people. That's also kind of why I do this version of the podcast now. So, I just tweeted, because at that time, I literally made, like, a separate Twitter for wrestling, because I was like, I don't want to bother all my friends with all my wrestling shit. Like, they don't fucking care. So I created a whole new Twitter that I have now, and I just tweeted one day. I was just like, what do I gotta do to get on a podcast? I said on one podcast. That was my goal. One fucking podcast. 2 years later, almost, here we are. But then that got me in touch with Steven from, I can't remember what he's from now. And then that got me in touch with Kyle, Smacked Raw. I was there for a year, left, started ShElite. Here we are.
Cool. Okay. It's always interesting to hear because, I don't interact with all y'all that often, so just curious.
No, that's fine. That's a question I get asked a lot, and I usually just, it's some variation of that timeline. I'm like, I tweeted, people got in touch with other people, I did a formal interview, it was over Zoom, it was weird, and then I started producing and hosting 3 shows a week.
Are you farsighted or nearsighted?
I'm actually half blind in my right eye.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, and, what?
What does half blind mean?
My vision is severely fucked. So, like, I can kind of see, like, if I'm looking forward, I can kind of barely see this in my peripheral, and if I, like, do that, this is kind of blurry. Like, I can read everything, but it's blurry. Like, I can't read really anything on my wall back there. So it's just, my eye is not strong, and somehow they let me drive, so I don't fucking know. But, I always wear my glasses. Mm-hmm. I can see without my glasses. People are always just like, oh, how many fingers am I putting? No, I can fucking see. Like, stop.
Yeah. Growing up, it happened all the time with me too.
All the time.
Like, you have glasses. How many fingers am I holding? Like, I can see 3 fingers, fool. Like, it's.
Yeah, I could see 3 fingers even with the bad eye. Like, I could still see.
Yeah, it's blurry, but I can see it. Like, I know how many fingers there are.
Like, it's there. I see. I can count. But, yeah, so I've been wearing glasses since the second half of kindergarten.
Yeah. Have you ever considered an eye patch?
An eye patch? So when I was little, I had to basically wear one for an hour every night if I watched TV. So I had 2 throughout the timeline of me wearing glasses. I had 1 pair that my left lens was scratched out, so I'd have to wear those for like an hour of me watching TV to try and strengthen my right eye. And then there was like a clip I could put on. I feel like at one point...
Wait, so you had to put the patch on the good eye?
Yeah, to strengthen my bad eye.
Huh, okay. That was not what I was thinking at all, but okay.
Yeah, so different variations of stuff like that, and then my eye kind of got better, and I think we're kind of just like at a standstill now, and it probably won't get any better. If it starts getting worse, then I'm gonna lose my mind. So I try not to think about that yet. I'm only 25, turned 26, so I got time to go blind.
Okay, we can stop talking about your eyes then. I was just curious. I think that's all the questions I got.
That's fine. Yeah. I'm not gonna try and force questions out of you. I would never do that to you, Travis.
I appreciate it.
No problem. All right. Anything else you wanna talk about or anything?
No.
All right.
I can think of.
That's fine. All right, Travis, you gotta tell the people where they can find you, what you do, all of the fucking things you do. Plug your
Okay.
shit.
Well, you can follow me on both Twitter and Instagram at Lord_Cussalott. That is at LORD_CUSSALOTT. You can also find Creatia World on both Twitter and Instagram at The Creatia World. That is at THECREATIA World. I'm not going to tell y'all how to spell world. If you don't know how to spell world, get a goddamn dictionary. Also, you can find Creatia World on Facebook at facebook.com/Creatia World. Let's see what else we got. Smacking the Raw every week. Y'all know y'all listen to Katie. Y'all know where she's at. Facebook group for that. Facebook.com/group/Smacking the Raw. Super Flashy Arrow tomorrow every week. Arrowverse stuff. That's what I forgot to mention. We're probably going to be phasing that out because the Arrowverse is falling apart. But anyway, Facebook.com/group/Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. Dungeons After Dark coming back soon. Hashtag Them Thrones coming back soon because House of the Dragon is starting in August. And I'm like, fuck yeah. CreatiaWorld.com. I believe that's everything. Patreon.com/CreatiaWorld.
There you go.
Get all the good stuff.
I think
That's the fun stuff.
I think that was
That's the only time you see me and Matt just together podcast anymore is on the Patreon. Well, a month late if you're gonna wait and be cheap, but $1 gets you the podcast on time. Return to wrestling. I make Matt watch WCW. It's fun.
I know you do.
Yeah.
Make him watch a lot of WCW because he said you guys do like a Nitro to the pay-per-view, and then the next one is the Nitro after that to the next pay-per-view.
Right.
That's a lot of WCW.
He gets a whole month to do it. Like,
I mean, that's true, but that's a lot of WCW for one person.
It is. But we're in the good stuff now, so he's fine.
He's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all that matters.
Yeah, we're in the good stuff. Like, NWO is there now. He had to suffer through like the really shitty stuff. Like, even the stuff that he saw wasn't the super shitty WCW stuff, but like, I love bad wrestling. Like, that's just I love bad wrestling. I love bad TV. It's just a thing of mine where just like, this is so bad that it's like entertaining to me because it's like, how did you fuck this up so bad? Like, it makes no sense, but this is so funny. Like, way back when fucking RoboCop showed up at Halloween Havoc. Why was RoboCop there?
What?
Yeah. Cross promotion for movies and shit. Yeah, RoboCop showed up at Halloween Havoc. It's just,
I have no words. What the fuck? Not RoboCop of all things.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
WCW.
I've only watched one thing of WCW, and it was for another podcast. So, and it was a terrible.
What did you have to watch?
Oh God, what was the name of that damn show? It was like unfiltered, unsanctioned, uncensored. Yes.
Which one though? Like, who's on it?
Oh God, I think it was 96, 95.
96.
It might have been 95.
Okay. Did it have the match with the Nasty Boys versus Harlem Heat?
Yes.
That was 96.
96. Okay. Yeah, I watched that one, and that was like the only taste of WCW I've had.
Yeah, that was the one that had the strap match, right? Where Hogan was supposed to drag Vader around.
Oh yeah.
Was that one? Yeah.
And the whole where's Jimmy Hart, Scooby-Doo storyline, basically.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Somehow Hogan won the match by dragging Ric Flair around. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I asked, it was Kyle from April. I was like, why did you make me watch this?
Because it's funny.
I was like, this is ridiculous. Dustin Rhodes fighting in the back of a fucking truck.
I forgot about that.
That's how the pay-per-view starts, Travis.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
It was
Oh,
a
that's so
fucking shit
good.
show.
It's so awful. Actually, no, I was wrong. That was 95, not 96.
95?
Yeah, 96 was the one when they had that fucking huge cage thing they had to climb to the top of with Hogan and Savage. Okay, got it.
Good to know. I will not be checking that out, just so you know. I will not be watching.
Oh, you should. Like, it has the Dungeon of Doom.
But then that's more WCW I have to watch. I'm not doing it for another podcast. I don't have to watch WCW.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Dungeon of Doom is awful. It's just, oh my god. Oh, okay. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got.
Okay. And of course, you can follow me on Twitter at KatieWrestling13. The link tree in my bio to take you all things ShElite Showcase. Twitch.tv/ShElite Showcase. Typically Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern. However, with summer coming up, things might change. YouTube, go subscribe to that. Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, if you like to listen to your podcasts. So ShElite Showcase is the brand basically, and then ShElite is the weekly recap Savannah and I do. I have this Inside the Mind of, where I interview awesome people like Travis. I have In the Crowd, which is a collab show I do. The latest one is with Matt and Vince from SmackDown and Raw, and a kind of know your co-host kind of game. My co-host Savannah has a show, New Japan Takeover, all about New Japan, Bullet Club Day, all of that. She has episodes up over there. I don't watch New Japan, so that's literally all her. I just upload everything. We have merch. If you go in the link tree, you can buy some of that. I know there's a design in the works right now that will go towards women's rights, so I'll have that up soon once we get all of that done. Well. Yeah. It's gonna be the same design, except I think we're doing different organizations.
Yeah.
So that will be up once everything gets finalized. And then obviously a big shout out to Justin Heel Tactics for doing all of the music for not just this show, but the entirety of ShElite Showcase, and as well as some of the other podcast people you know. So a big shout out to him.
Here's some of our stuff too.
Yeah, he's so talented. I'm gonna have him on soon.
Yes, ridiculously so. It's not fair that you have all this talent and I don't have it. Why don't I have any of that?
Another hobby for you, Travis.
This cosplay thing is really gonna eat up my entire life, and I know it because I know how I am. Because the first time, if I pull this gun off and I get it right, I'm like, oh, I have to do more of this. I gotta, yeah. It's gonna be. I'm gonna have a whole fucking huge mech suit looking thing at some point if I let myself do what I know what I'll probably do. So.
And honestly, I want to see it. So if you do it, I can't wait.
Yeah. Well, give me about a month for this gun.
Got it. I'll give you about a month for it.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
No problem. I thank you for coming on and doing this. I know we talked about it
Absolutely.
5 months ago, but now we did it.
Yeah. I made it.
You did. And thank you to everyone watching, listening. I'll see you for the next one. Bye-bye.
Peace.